Are we seeing the revitalization of conservative civilization? All over the world, there's been a massive backlash against globalization, its leftist leadership, and its anti-cultural liberal values. And it's just the beginning. I'm Dr. Steve Turley. I believe the liberal globalist world is at its brink, and a new conservative age is rising. Join me every day as we examine these worldwide trends, discover answers to today's toughest challenges, and together learn to live in the present in light of even better things to come. This is Turley Talks. Meghan McCain is finally done at The View, and with her ending, another Never Trump neocon exits the stage. In this video, we're going to take a look at what brought McCain's tenure at The View to an end, why she never got along with any of her colleagues regardless of their political affiliation, and why her brand of liberal republicanism is nothing less than a contradiction in terms. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. We are your daily fake news antidote, as each and every day we provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Meghan McCain, the never-Trumper daughter of the never-Trumper Senator John McCain, has officially announced that her 4-year tenure at ABC's The View is coming to an end. McCain joined the ladies of The View as their sole supposed conservative back in 2017, replacing Jedediah Bila as the lone token conservative on the program. McCain said that the decision was not an easy one, citing that she was looking forward to spending more time with her family and their newborn baby. Now, it's no secret, all right, that McCain's time at The View was marked by significant controversy. CNN had actually reported last year that she was considering leaving because of the radically hostile environment of triggered ultra-leftist colleagues like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. She reportedly said that she felt dejected, she felt constantly sabotaged by her colleagues at ABC, and was seriously thinking of leaving The View back then, a year ago. Regardless, she apparently stuck it out for another year before finally deciding to leave. Now, needless to say, this departure was a long time coming. We have to remember that when Meghan McCain came to The View, she was seen not just as a token conservative, but she was billed as a fresh conservative voice coming straight from Fox News. She was already a rather prominent Republican commentator, of course, the daughter of John McCain. But from the beginning of her tenure at The View, she began referring to herself as a, quote, liberal Republican, which of course is a total contradiction in terms, which we'll get into in a moment. You want to make sure to stick through to the very end of the video to find out precisely why. But as a liberal Republican, it was thought that she would fit in very well with The View and enrich the conversation with a broader perspective on issues. Not. According to the Washington Post, her time at The View was, quote, tumultuous. The scenes from the four-woman panel were often combative and heated. It seemed to reach a breaking point actually last month when both McCain and Goldberg accused one another of just not caring about each other, but them screaming to each other, I don't care if you don't care, and all that. I mean, just typical argumentative absurdities and like. Same with Behar. McCain and she never seemed to get along. Both Goldberg and Behar were just too easily triggered for McCain to be able to say, frankly, anything from the perspective of a Republican, however milquetoast, right? However diluted. It was actually so bad that Joy Behar came out and said that she didn't miss McCain when she was away on maternity leave. I mean, think about that. I didn't miss you while you were enjoying the most wonderful moments of a mother's life. I was glad you were gone, right? I mean, talk about brutal. Unless we think this is just a clash with the more wokey woke part of the View panel. Remember Abby Huntsman? Again, another milquetoast lefty Republican. She was a host there as well as Meghan McCain. She ended up leaving precisely because of her strained relationship with McCain, according to CNN. Apparently, the clash involved Huntsman's on-air enthusiasm for her children, and McCain, by contrast, who had fertility challenges over the years. She apparently thought Huntsman was being insensitive with her so-called child-centric chats. I kid you not, this is coming from CNN. So it really didn't seem to matter if McCain was dealing with the wokey woke side of the View or the milquetoast, wobbly Republican side. Meghan McCain just didn't seem to get along with anyone there. But we haven't even considered how patriots feel about her, right? How the moms and dads and mid-America folk, the tens of millions of people who voted for Donald Trump, how they felt about her. Obviously, I think we could guess that Meghan McCain didn't quite warm up to mid-America either. I'm sure you all remember how frankly sad and pathetic it was when McCain so tragically turned her father, Senator John McCain's funeral, into what amounted to little more than a cheap political rally. During her eulogy to her father, Meghan McCain said, quote, "America does not boast because she does not have to. The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great." And then to make it even worse, many in the church started applauding. It was so ridiculously inappropriate. It took Trump derangement syndrome to a whole new level. Even the New York Post came out and had to point out how utterly obnoxious it was for her to use her father's funeral as an occasion to make partisan potshots. But unfortunately, it seems to be just par for the course for Meghan McCain's brand of so-called liberal republicanism. But as she's finding out the hard way, she may have made friends with the New York Times, which absolutely loved her ripping Trump during her father's eulogy. I mean, after all, what are eulogies for, right? Aren't they there to score cheap political points? Well, apparently they are for the leftist activists disguised as journalists over at the New York Times. McCain may have thought she became great friends with the leftist activists over the New York Times or CNN, but she quickly found out that as long as she identified as a Republican, her membership in the Wokey Woke Club expired after just a few days. And of course, being a liberal Republican meant she had no support from the tens of millions of patriots who loved 45 and despised her anti-Trump tantrums. So where does a person like Meghan McCain go? Well, before we answer that, in celebration of Independence Day coming up, our awesome merch store has some super savings for you. For just this week, buy 2 of our amazing Patriot t-shirts and you get a third one absolutely free. So this is a perfect opportunity to get yourself and your loved ones and friends some of the coolest, most patriotic shirts available simply by clicking on the link below. But this is a limited time offer. The sale ends on midnight after July the 4th. So don't wait, click on that link below and take advantage of our buy 2, get 1 offer today. So now let's go full circle, shall we? Let's circle back Psaki here. Let's go full circle and go back to this notion of a liberal Republican being a contradiction in terms. Why is that? What makes a Republican liberal in the current political sense of the term? What makes a Republican liberal is their commitment to political correctness. Okay, liberal Republicans are by definition politically correct Republicans. These are Republicans that are unidentifiable from fellow Democrats when it comes to social and cultural issues. Where they tend to differ is often on economic issues, the size and scope of government, national defense, war policies, stuff like that. But other than that, they're basically equivalent, okay, to Democrats. And that's because both remain absolutely committed to a politically correct vision of life. And so then that raises the question, what is political correctness? Well, scholars recognize that political correctness is actually a form of cultural Marxism known as repressive tolerance. And repressive tolerance, again by definition, involves tolerating every and all minority opinions and minority groups while excluding, or better, canceling anything conservative, anything indicative of the dominant ethno-cultural group or tradition. And the key here is that from its very inception, the whole point of repressive tolerance is in fact to overthrow Western civilization. The cultural Marxist Herbert Marcuse, who founded repressive tolerance, was very open about that goal. His goal was to marginalize the dominant ethnic group that possesses all the cultural power in Western civilization, which of course for Marcuse was the white male, for the purpose of destroying the culture and rebuilding it according to his own cultural Marxist image. And with this in mind, look at this. This is what Meghan McCain said when she announced she was leaving The View. She actually blasted the media coverage of The View and all their spats as misogynistic. It was sexist. That's what was irking her when she left. She's upset that the media coverage was misogynist. Meghan McCain is as politically correct as anyone could get. But here's the problem. If political correctness is ultimately all about overturning Western civilization, then how can you be a pro-military hawk who seeks the defense of that civilization? If political correctness is ultimately all about overturning Western civilization, then how can Meghan McCain be a pro-military hawk who seeks the defense of that civilization? Well, you can't. Not intelligibly. So that's why Meghan McCain seems to have no friends anywhere she goes. Her politics are unintelligible. And no doubt they led to the career end of another never-Trumper. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how the defund the police movement is absolutely destroying the Democrat Party. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's going to make your day. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Turley Talks podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and share this episode with your friends. Help us defeat the fake news media and rank as the #1 news and commentary podcast all over the world. Come back again tomorrow for another episode celebrating the rise of a new conservative age.